All right, wintertime smallmouth fishing on the upper Potomac. I tell you what, best laid plans, right? Um, Bonehead move of the season. Hour from the house, upper Potomac, upper reaches, arrive, no PFD. I'm going to tell you what, in the summertime, maybe I might second guess it. Go out wade fishing. I don't know. Take the kayak out, beach it, in the middle of the river, just fish in the middle of the river. But in the wintertime, that's a no go because you fall in this water, as cold as this water is or isn't in some people's regards, but if it's around 40 degrees, you fall into that water and you're soaking wet and you don't have backup clothes or you don't have simply because and you don't have a PFD on, not a good play. So we plan beat it out. All right, you can check out some of the videos on Facebook, JL Scott Fishing and Eats. I got some great photography, great shots for the book releasing next year. I've got to submit all those photos early in January for the Upper Potomac Smallmouth Fishing book that's getting published. I'm really, really excited about that. So I kind of had plan B, was just basically spend a couple hours out walking, hitting the islands up, crossing, grab my muck boots, do the whole thing, get in the water. It wasn't too deep, virtually any of the sections on the Maryland side today. Water's beautiful. It's clear. Got into 4 or 5 little small smallies. They're podding up. You can check that video out. And it's just really interesting to see the river, how the river evolves and changes, right? From early fall transition to late fall now, early winter coming. Some places already considered to be winter. We're basically starting the days in the high 30s and getting to be, maybe 50 degrees, 50, 55. This weekend it'll probably be 60 in some parts of the DMV. Probably a little cooler down in the valley in Virginia, on the Shenandoah, down on the New River, or the James River down there, Lynchburg and places like that. They tend to be a little colder than we are in the northern part of the region. So it's going to be, hopefully it's going to be interesting. I know Sunday we're looking at like 63, maybe 65 or so, they're saying now after revised. So, that could be really great. Good. And maybe I won't forget my PFD. And that'll make it even great. But a couple of baits for wintertime. I thought it was a good time to just talk a little bit about some of the baits because I have a lot of people message me about what kind of baits am I. I go light in the wintertime. I like to go lightweight on the kayak. I like to go lightweight and everything just because the air is different. Your levels are different. Your thermals are different in terms of what are you lugging around, unloading, loading, all of that stuff. So I go really, really light. I usually take like 5 to 6 baits out with me, depending on what I think I'm going to experience with my experience on the river. I've covered basically 80% of the Potomac River for my book, above Great Falls, all the way in the lock systems. So I've been to basically 80% of the locks that I know or have been made aware of are fishable for smallmouth bass, for coverage. I did break down, and I will break down when I get back to the house, because I broke it down in one of the Facebook groups in terms of Brunswick down to Monocacy, with some pictures and some different float distances and times and holes and spots and areas you want to check out. I'm going to put that in video form because I had a request for that. So I'm going to put that in video form so you can find that on the YouTube channel tonight. I'll do a video tonight and get it up on the YouTube channel that just breaks down that, like if you're fishing from Brunswick down towards the Monocacy Aqueduct and the Monocacy River. That's just a section of the Piedmont. It's kind of the upper portion of my area. But I got like great response over that little piece I did for that. And a lot of that's going to be covered in the book. All those different sections of the river will be covered in the book. Every canal, every towpath lock, section, ramp, all the way up as we go up from Great Falls to Harper's Ferry and beyond. So, stay on board with that. It'll come out late spring. But some baits for winter smallmouth, okay? What I decided to take out today. And my plan obviously was to be on the water, middle river, where the rocks are, and the deeper pools on the Virginia side. That's what I want to do. My plan today was to target the deeper water on the Virginia side from putting in at Violet's Lock, okay, which is the lock that is just downriver from Riley's Lock and Seneca Landing, okay. Most people are not aware of Violet's Lock. That's why I'm going to cover it in the book, okay. Old Dam 2. It basically is the old dam above what most people considered and call, locally anyway, Seneca Breaks, okay. It's as the river descends towards Great Falls, okay. The river comes in Old Dam 2 and then starts its mile-long descent, okay, down as it goes downriver. So it picks up a lot of current, a lot of flow, okay, and current as it comes across that ledge. And the ledge is undeniable. It's where all the debris is getting stacked up at the old dam, okay. And so you got a long section called Seneca Breaks. You got some island breaks. You got some more rock lines, but also create some pools on the Virginia side, which is what I wanted to target today. So I didn't get that opportunity. Hopefully I'll be able to get that opportunity on Sunday. So I was able to hit the Maryland side and go through the different islands and go through where I could, see some pods. Didn't see any big fish. I saw mostly 10 to 14s in that range, in some different areas. Located a couple more of the pools that I've identified in previous videos for everybody that obviously is holding deeper water current coming in. You can see those videos I put up today. I also did a little Facebook Live today showing one section, one area of the river. You can check that out on the Facebook page. But a couple baits really that my plan today, and I did utilize most of these anyway today, just trying to see how it would go. I was running my Shimano 4000 was the reel today I was using. I started off with the first gen. It's a first gen top spin. Okay, you can change out whatever you want. This is just a really effective bait on the Potomac, as opposed to like a standard like swim bait, kind of like thumper tail, whether you invert it or put it upside down or whatever. For some reason, those aren't as effective as the grubs and your jerk, because it's constantly moving. Okay, so top spin. This is the molten crawl color, and I've beaten this one up because it's been really great. Titanium wire. Okay, great flash, great flash. I'll stay with first gen for a second, not in any order. But and the other one, it's a jaw dropper. Okay, it sits a little different jig on the bottom, and I just put a little crawl. Once I saw the other day some crawl still in the river, did a little crawl thing there. So those are just two top spin, first gen fishing. Like I said, I was throwing Shimano and throwing a 12-pound P-line line as my fishing line today. Now, I didn't throw it for that often because I really wasn't in an area that I was confident in, but I wanted to kind of like, again, check out the action, see how it moved in the water, and reacted. Here's a Lake Edge 110 Junior in the rainbow. Also have with me the thread fin coloration. These 110 Juniors are phenomenal. Perfect size. So they're a little smaller than obviously your normal 110s like Megabass, Lucky Craft, Provoke from 6 cents. So a little smaller, okay? Which is perfect for smallies, all right? They like that easy forage, but I really like the action on it. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to work with it a little bit. I got to change up my cadence, I think, a little bit, especially from a kayak. Probably use a longer rod, go to the 7.2 from the 6.6, and throw this. I think is going to be a lot more effective. Grab this bait back out. Goodness, I did catch 2 of the smallies today. Old school, man. Just old school. Look at that. Jointed. Simple, man. Old school stuff. That I didn't get any takers, but I also tried the crawl lipless crank as well. Did not get any takers on that. Now, all the other that, The few bass that I caught all came on, wouldn't you know it, to formation. Boom. Small, hair jig, grub. Boom. Easy, easy, easy feeding. And this copper color, green pumpkin, brown, grub trailer, and then obviously the black one. Wintertime, go black. Cold water under 42 degrees, 40 degrees. That's pretty much when I pretty much consider it to be winter fishing, but technically the date in the calendar doesn't really matter to me. Once that water gets below 42 to 40 degrees, I go black. I never go out without black. Okay. Summertime, not nearly as effective. Summertime, green. Chartreuse colors, green colors, red, like a morning dawn, a plum. Those kind of colors are crazy, crazy effective. Tube color, if you're finesse fishing on the Upper Potomac, tube colors like that, just really, really, really effective. But the grubs today were the takers, and I think it's just a product of what's happening in the river right now, and what's going down. And that was it. So I just looked like, was only going to go out for like an hour or two, out and just kind of check out some areas. I had 2 pools that I love, will be in the book. Got some great, probably 2 of my, an 18 and a half, I think the last 2 years, 18 and a half and a 19, from that pool on the Virginia side. So I'm going to talk about that in depth about what that is over there on that canal side, because there is a canal on the other side. Most people aren't aware of that on the Virginia side. We have the towpath and everything on the Maryland side. So I'm going to talk about that. Obviously all these, I'm going to pick it all apart. I know I'll catch a lot of heat. I've already caught a lot of heat because a lot of people are like, you're just going to spot burn. It's a public river. It's for all of us to enjoy. So I want to get people on fish, especially smallmouth. They're coming back. Potomac is coming back. This was another great year of fishing in terms of quantity of bass now in that 15 and a half to 17 inch range is prolific. Okay. Which means we're 1 year away. Okay. Maybe 2, maybe by 2025, we're going to see a ton of citations taken out of this fishery. If everything continues in its natural progression, meaning we don't have any other major flood events, 16 feet, 17, 18 feet, flood stage events that actually decimate the fishery like 2018, okay? Barring that, the populations are there. There's 2 class populations. There's that 15 and a half to 17 population, and then there's a huge 10 to 12 and a half population, okay? Those are the 2. And remember, because spawning classes got hurt really bad with 2 high water events, 18 and after, okay? And so those are the ones that have those populations have sustained themselves. And so we're about ready to reach that phase here in about a year or so. I'm really getting excited. It's why I'm great with the book coming out where it is. And so we can identify these areas for everybody so they can hit those areas, and focus on that, going forward. But that's really it. That's just the update I got. Winter smallmouth bass fishing on the Upper Potomac. Don't forget your PFD, lesson learned. And if you do go out on the water, make sure this time of year, regardless of what your regulations or laws are, that you wear a PFD. Better yet, a dry suit or something like that to protect yourself. The water was not very cold today. Again, I wasn't walking in any water that was more than a foot deep. But still, you don't want to be falling in that water. You don't want to be dealing with that. You don't want to be wet and cold and all of that, because that's going to make you, even if you make through the day, it's going to carry with you for days. You're going to be sick. Okay? So just make sure you take care of yourself, but make sure you get out there and fish, man. It's a beautiful day here today. We're now at 51 degrees. And I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. And so I hope you guys get out there. I hope you guys get a shot. I hope you guys haven't put your boats up. I hope you guys haven't put your kayaks in a garage for the winter time. Because there's still a lot of fishing to get done. Check out smalliechaserriverbassin on Facebook, and check out all the citation smallies being caught by the guys the last 2 months. There's a current December monthly right now on Tourney X. I think it's about a dozen anglers that are registered for that already. I think 3 or 4 have already registered catches. in December. The smallies are there. They're still out there. They're not going anywhere. It might just be harder to land. But when you do land one, there's a better chance of you landing a big one this time of year than, say, in June, July, and August, okay? Just be safe out there and go get you some.